with this nutrition. Students, depending on the way of taking their energy, it is classified into two modes. If the energy is taken directly or energy is used for synthesizing their food, then that is called as the autotrophic mode. And if energy is not directly or energy is not used to synthesize their food along with the other raw material, rather indirect source of energy is used, means the energy or the food produced by the autotrophic mode of nutrition, that food is consumed, then that kind of nutrition is called as heterotrophic. We have already discussed this autotrophic. It is our photosynthesis. The reaction we have already written, the CO2 and H2O in presence of sunlight, in chlorophyll, it gives us the carbohydrate along with the oxygen. So it is basically an endothermic reaction. If you want to balance, you can balance it by substituting 6 here, 6 here. Now it is balanced, or 6 more here. So here it was food synthesized by taking the raw material. So the food by on from raw material. But there is other category of organism which are not able to synthesize their own food. So organism not able to synthesize their own food. Food is basically the source of energy, because without taking this source of energy or food, the organism cannot survive. So ultimately the organism have to take the food from some external source. I mean, the food prepared by some other source have to be taken by this organism. So such organisms are called heterotrophic. So heterotrophic organisms are not able to synthesize their own food, but takes the food prepared by other organism. It is basically the plant mostly, but need not always be the plant, because there are few organisms who are surviving on the other organism, like few animal are surviving on the other animal, or few of the insects are surviving on the other animals. means whatever the food material or whatever the useful compound prepared by that organism or need to be used by that organism, that is taken away by the other organism to survive themselves. So that kind of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. So here important thing is organism not able to synthesize their own food. It is one part. Then how they are taking their food? So takes the food prepared by the other organism. It is this one. So depending on how these food are taken from the other organism, this heterotrophic organism can also be classified into various categories. So right here, so heterotrophic organism takes food. Food means energy basically from other, either in the form of useful food or in some other form. So what this other could be, this may be a few animals or maybe your plants. A student, mostly or quite commonly we are observing this situation that one of the animal is surviving over the plant, but there are few organisms which are surviving over the other animals. Example, let me take few example. If we consider the fungi, you might be observing where this fungi is surviving. Fungus, these are the small insect-like structure or a small insect-like organism who is surviving on decayed or dead and decayed material. You might be observing that, say, if any organism is dead, the remains of that organism is carried by some other organism. Like if one insect is dead, then that is taken away by the ant, because ant is going to take the energy from that organism or going to eat that dead insect. Get it? So this way we can understand that even one animal also depends on the other. That is also a mode of heterotrophic nutrition. There are many other things. Even the one organism, while surviving on the other organism, it may be possible that both the organism are mutually benefited, or may be possible that one of the organism is deprived or one of the organism is facing loss while the other organism is gaining. So example that first I have taken. Second, stomach worm or round worm, or it is basically the pin worm in stomach. It is basically the intestine, not the stomach, where this pinworm is going to survive in our intestine. So this is the other way. So considering all these things, we can further classify this heterotrophic into different categories. So that classification we will understand. Then we will go for the animal like human. Student, the other thing could be, you might have in note of leguminous plant. So these are the few examples that I have taken. if we observe carefully under this situation, there are different kind of benefits, and even some of the organism may undergo some losses. So in this case, when a rhizobium is surviving in node of a legume plant, both this is the bacteria and this is the plant, both benefited. There are other one also. Example, the other where both are benefited is, one more example is lichen. This we will also learn. So what is this lichen? This you have to learn. So it is not only rhizobium, but lichen and many more are there. Even blue-green algae are also there. If the pinworm is surviving in our intestine, whether it is going to benefit us? No, it is going to harm. So this animal will harm. So this pinworm will gain, they will survive, but our intestine will feel some pain or some problem is faced by human. So this is under the loss. So one is gained, other is lost. In this case, both are benefited, means both are in gain. Fungi, whether it is going to further deprive this organism which is already dead. Say if the organism is dead, then there is no question that organism will deprive further, or there will be any loss to the organism, because it have lost everything. So this is what gained only. It is what not affected further. So these are the three situations. So depending on these three situations, there are three kind of heterotrophic nutrition. So those heterotrophic nutrition we have to learn. So let me first classify this.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, how this roundworm or pinworm comes in this intestine?
It is generated from the various contamination or dirts what we are eating. No, whatever the rice or anything that we are eating, that itself contain a lot of contamination. Contamination need not be in the form of worm or something like that, and that worm enter in our, that is produced inside our stomach. If our hand is contaminated or whatever the material that we are taking, if that contain any other dirt particle or unwanted, means if dirt is present in our food, that will get collected in our stomach and intestine. That dirt will not be digested, that will not come out, but that creates such a situation that the other organism get developed in our stomach itself. That's why you might observing that. So this pinworm problem is quite common in children, but not quite common in the elder or the bigger one. Why? Because the person get mature, they get understand that what is the cause of this, they are taking extra care, they are always cleaning their hand. So this problem are very much rare. Okay, एनीथिंग मोर, कुछ और भी है क्या आपको? ये हमारे अंदर जनरेट होता है. इन एडिशन टू दिस, आई मीन आई वांट टू टेल यू मोर थिंग व्हिच इज बियॉन्ड योर स्कोप. हमारे स्टोमक में बहुत सारे ऐसे ऑर्गेनिज्म हैं जो कि हमें बेनिफिट पहुंचाते हैं, और बहुत ही छोटे छोटे बैक्टीरिया है. ओके, ये बैक्टीरिया हमें दूसरे दूसरे प्रोसेस में हेल्प करते रहते हैं. ये बैक्टीरिया हमारे डाइजेशन में हेल्प करते हैं. सो इट इज कॉमनली स्टेटेड दैट आवर गट इज व्हाट, आवर डाइजेस्टिव ट्रैक्ट, they contain lot of even useful bacteria. Okay, so that useful bacteria they are called probiotic, means ये हमारे लिए बायोलॉजिकल हेल्पफुल है. ऐसे वाले हमारे बहुत सारे हमारे अंदर में बैक्टीरिया, ये उन्हीं में से कुछ बैक्टीरिया और कुछ जो फंगस है वो ऐसे कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं कि वो यूजफुल होने के बदले वो हार्मफुल होना शुरू हो जाता है. So even our stomach is not free from total bacteria or total this fungus or a small insects, there are, but they are not harmful to us, they are even useful. इसके अलावा we will learn in our 15th chapter that the cause of pollution of this river or even the water, so we are contaminated because of the sewage water. Why? The sewage water contain one of the bacteria which is generated from the human gut or human intestine called colibacteria, okay, or E. coli. So E. coli bacterium, so that bacterium is even useful to individual, but if this is going to transfer to the other individual, that become harmful. So there are lot many organisms who are surviving on us, okay. So ऐसे ही ये किसी किसी चेंजेस से ये हमारे स्टोमक के अंदर जनरेट हो जाते हैं. Yes, any more doubt, Neeraj?
No, sir.
Okay, so now let us go for the classification of this heterotrophic. So heterotrophic nutrition itself can be classified broadly into, one is called as your, let me write in the next page where I will write the definition and example, by that way we will end it rather than writing here. So if I write this, so that was the definition of heterotrophic, but what are the various types of heterotrophic, and we have to understand in a bit more detail for the human. A student, if we consider the heterotrophic nutrition, this can be broadly classified into 4. The first one is called as your saprophytic. Saprophytic nutrition. These terms are present in your book. Just only 1 or 2 statements are written. So by that way, you have to just understand, and we will do only that much. The next one is called as parasitic. The third one is called as symbiotic. And the fourth one is, sorry, and the fourth one is your insectivorous. A student, saprophytic nutrition are those kind of nutrition where an organism survive over the dead and decayed material. The example is fungi. The example, let me write first. The example is fungi and other small insects. The parasitic, there are few plant and animal who are surviving. So parasitic example, pinworm over the animal, the amarbel or cuscuta that you are observing over the plant, that are also called as the climber, plant climber. So it is our cuscuta. Symbiotic means both are equally benefited. So this is your rhizobium and lichen. Lichen is what we will learn. That lichen is the combination of two organisms. One is the fungi. So fungi live with algae. So fungi and algae collectively forming the part of this organism. So one part is fungus, is fungal, another part is algal. Algal do the photosynthesis to provide the food to this fungi also. Okay, so it is like this. Rhizobium, insectivorous, that you have learned in your earlier standard and quite commonly known plant, that is called as the pitcher plant. Do you know what is the biological name of this pitcher plant? So in your NTSC and at your level, it is written as like this. It is Nepenthes. Okay, so you have to keep this term also in your mind rather than only pitcher plant. So these are the broader types of heterotrophic nutrition. Student, how it looks, ये कैसा दिखता है फंगी एल्गी, आपको मैं जस्ट एक बार दिखलाता हूँ. I think a figure may be available with me. आपके बुक में शायद ये फिगर है नहीं. Student, observe. Very first is the fungus, means fungal. What is this? Fungal. Example is mushroom. क्लास 9th में आपको ये सब पढ़ाया है. फंगल के बहुत सारे एग्जांपल आपको बताया है. So mushroom. Another, if we consider the parasitic, it is the Cuscuta. Cuscuta also called as the amarbel, which survive over the plant. They are taking the energy from the plant surface. Ultimately, the plant is deprived from their own food, and lastly, it is possible that the plant will die, and this amarbel or this Cuscuta will survive. And once the plant is dead, this Cuscuta will also die later on, because later on the food item or energy will not be available for this Cuscuta, so it cannot survive alone. Another is, see, it is the lichen. The third figure, it is what? The blue-green algae, but blue-green algae having some spotted part, whose one part is your fungi. So see, symbiotic relation of the fungus in the top, algae in the bottom. So algae is over the plant, over the water surface, and over this algae, the fungal part, means white part, get developed, and both are growing together because both are mutually benefited. Because this fungal or fungus is getting energy or food from the algae, because algae is preparing the food. They are able to do the photosynthesis. Algae are the green plant, very small green plant. Okay, so it is blue-green algae basically. Fungal is not able to prepare their own food. They are just forming as long as they are getting the energy from the external sources. Okay, see, in the first case, the fungal, the first case, mushroom is being grown over some decayed material. Student, so that's why as long as the decayed material is there, this fungal will or this mushroom will survive. Later on, the decayed material is removed or get drifted, then this fungus or this mushroom will also end their life. Get it? It is this. The fourth one is our pitcher plant. So this pitcher plant, even last day I was speaking, this pitcher is nothing but this is the modified form of the leaf, which is able to trap the insect in them. So upper part is this open lid. So lid, once the fungus or any insect get entered into this pitcher, the lid get closed, and finally that insect is digested to get the nitrogen and other nutrients. So these are the 4 categories. आपको फिगर इसलिए दिखाया है कि ये MCQs यहाँ से बनाए जाते हैं, आपको पूछे जा सकते हैं किसके क्या एग्जाम्पल है, क्या ये कैसे ये करते हैं. ओके, so let me now go for the writing few things. So how we can quickly understand, or what is the definition? So student, saprophytic nutrition or saprophytic organism are those organisms which survive over the dead and decayed material. So these saprophytic organisms do not have their own digestive system. Their food is digested outside the body, then they are just sucking it. Once the organism is dead, it start decaying. When it start decaying, means the cellular structure of that organism is going to decay, that is going to damage. Means ultimately the complex cell or complex food is going to convert into the simpler food. Means the food itself is digested, that is sucked by this saprophytic organism. Okay, so right, organism taking food or surviving mean the same thing. From dead and decayed material. Student, dead and decayed material need not always be animal. It may be possible that a plant is decaying, means the plant or dead plant is decaying. That also gives the spot for the nutrition of this saprophytic organism. Okay, so it is the point by which we can understand how the nutrition is there. Now, these organisms do not have, the specific feature is that do not have digestive system. This was asked in your NTSC. Which of these organisms do not need digestive system? ऐसे पूछा था. The simple thing is saprophytic, because they are taking the digested food. What they have, they are able to exert or release digestive enzyme over the dead body, and this dead body which is in the surrounding, there itself it get digested, and then that digested dead body is sucked by this fungal or saprophytic organism. So right, this organism, so they breaks down the food outside their body by releasing digestive enzyme. Their body contain only digestive enzyme. They will just spill the digestive enzyme over the dead body. Dead body will start decaying faster than whatever the dead material or decayed material that is formed, that is being taken by this saprophytic organism by releasing enzyme. Then the digested food is absorbed. Getting? So this is the important feature that you have to keep in mind. These three are enough for you. No need to draw any more thing or any figure and what they are. Next, let us come to the parasitic. So in parasitic mode of nutrition, one organism is taking the food from the other organism at the cost of harming that organism. That But in this saprophytic, since it is already dead, so no further harm. Organism is already dead, so no further harm. But in the parasitic, one organism is benefited while the other is harmed. Right? One organism gets food at the cost of harming other organism. Example, if we consider this pinworm is surviving in our intestine. Whether it is going to benefit us? No. Rather, we are being harmed, or we are the loser. Because many a time we feel stomach pain, loose motion, and many other problems. Means the organism over which this one of the organism is surviving, it is called as guest, and the organism which is harmed, it is called as host. And the common term for one organism is guest. So this is your guest. Right? Organism getting food is guest, because they are not the inherent part of that organism, but they are the guest. They are surviving for certain time. Once the organism get more and more harm, he will try to get rid of this guest, and guest is finally thrown out. That's why it is the guest. And the other harmed, or which is giving the shelter to this, is called host. So this is a guest host relation. So write this. It is sometimes also written as guest host relation. They are not good. क्योंकि कोई भी गेस्ट यदि आपके या हमारे घर में आए तो हम क्या चाहते हैं? गेस्ट थोड़े दिन तक रहे तो गेस्ट हैं, अच्छे लगते हैं, बट वो लगातार यदि हमारे साथ 10 साल तक रहने की कोशिश करे तो हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता. It is quite common. In the similar fashion, for any plant, the guest is always gaining something at the cost of host. So it is this one. So I have written the example of pinworm, Cuscuta, also called as the tapeworm. और भी बहुत सारे इसके एग्जाम्पल है. लेट मी राइट फ्यू मोर एग्जाम्पल. जैसे दिस लीच आपने देखे होंगे. ये कॉमनली जब बारिश होता है तो उस समय बहुत सारे लीच डेवलप हो जाते हैं. अपने आसपास के जंगल में भी हो जाते हैं. पानी में छोटे छोटे लीच पाए जाते हैं. वो यदि एक बार किसी से चिपक गया तो उसके साथ चिपका ही रहेगा. उसी से वो ब्लड लेना शुरू कर देता है. So let us write few more example. It was asked. So it is our leech. ये लीच ऐसे भी लिखा जाता है, और LEE leeches. Other tapeworm or pinworm that we have already written. Many other plants are also what they are. The Cuscuta that we have written. Other is our orchid plant. They are also ORCHIDs. ये एग्जाम्पल्स पूछे हुए हैं, इसीलिए मैं एक जगह इन्यूमरेट कर देता हूं, बिकॉज वॉट एवर आई एम टीचिंग इज आफ्टर द एनालिसिस ऑफ वेरियस क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम एनटीएससी, आपके टेक्स्ट बुक के, इसीलिए ताकि एक जगह आपको रहे, आप बाद में देखेंगे तो क्विकली आप बतला सकते हैं. सो दिस मच इज एनफ, नो नीड टू राइट एनी मोर. So this was the second. Now coming to the third one, there are few situations where both are benefited, means two or more organism lives together and both are benefited, means no harm to anyone. यहां पे एक किसी को हार्म नहीं होता है, दोनों ही बेनिफिटेड होते हैं. दिस इज द मेन वे टू अंडरस्टैंड. Example, if we consider the lichen, I think it is in your book also. So if we consider this lichen, I had already displayed the figure and there I had also explained. It is algae, lives with fungi. So this algae makes food or prepare. So this is green in color, have the chlorophyll, so able to do photosynthesis and prepare food. And fungi is taking this food, so takes food prepared by algae. Then what benefit is for this algae? This gives the protection, क्योंकि फंगी जो होते हैं इसमें कुछ कांटे और certain other chemicals are like that gives the protection and gives protection to algae. algae को ये protection देता है. So this way both algae and fungi are benefited. Student, why this lichen is important? So this is asked in different form, I mean in different chapters. We will learn in next chapter of chemistry that whatever the litmus in the chapter acid, base and salt, we will learn one chemical called litmus. So litmus paper or litmus solution is nothing but it is the sap or it is the juice of this algae. It is slightly purple in color, okay, but this can be converted into blue litmus or red litmus, and that is used for identifying the acid or base. Okay, where red turn into blue and blue turn into red by changing their color. Okay, so this lichen gives litmus. तो ये चीज आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि लाइकन से हमें क्या मिलता है, या हमें लिटमस पेपर के लिए जो लिटमस सॉल्यूशन है वो मिलता है. So this is the significance of this lichen. Other example you may take as in legume node. So this is the plant, this is what a bacteria, Student, this bacteria have unique feature that it can fix nitrogen. Fixed nitrogen means whatever the air it will take for breathing, after breathing that air, it is able to release nitrogen dioxide and nitrogen trioxide, which is supplied to the plant itself. Okay, it is the compound of basically nitrogen oxide, and this is your nitrogen compound, and this compound goes to plant because plant is able to use that nitrogen and soil. So this way this bacteria is helpful, but for surviving this bacteria it needs the food, so it takes the glucose molecule from this plant. So this get nitrogen from bacteria, but this gets food from plant. Plant means the legume plant. Yeah. So this way the plant is in need of one of the macronutrient nitrogen that is being given by this rhizobium bacteria. So nitrogen is supplied to this one, and this bacteria is in need of the glucose or food, so this food is given by this plant. So this way they are mutually benefited. So this was all about saprophytic, sorry, symbiotic. The term symbiotic, if you consider this one, biotic means it is the life. So symbiotic relation means a good kind of relation. So symbiotic relation means mutually benefiting relation is also called as the symbiotic relation. And the relation in which one is benefited, other is harmed is called parasitic relation. So such relations are also existing in our daily life with our other relatives. We are observing some of our relatives are parasitic and some are symbiotic also, where you are helping your relative and in your bad time they are also helping you. So such a relative are symbiotic. In general, for the human society, this symbiotic relation is expected. Parasitic is not expected, but you might observe some of the friends become parasitic, but some of the friend or most of the friend are also symbiotic. Now let us come to this insectivorous. So this take insect, take means consume insect to get. यहां पूरा फूड के लिए ये इंसेक्ट को नहीं कंज्यूम करते हैं, टू गेट आई मीन फूड और अ कंपोनेंट ऑफ फूड, like nutrient, exclusively this nitrogen, because this pitcher captures the insect, and when the insect is decayed it adds nitrogen to that leaf. Okay, so it is nitrogen. So this insectivorous plant always grows in mineral deficit land. I think this much is enough. ज्यादा नहीं पूछता है, आपको इतना ही पूछता है. Student, any doubt then please ask, otherwise I will go for the.
Sir, can you scroll down?
Allozoic nutrition in human. I will go there.
Sir,
हाँ बोलिए नीरज.
सर ये वायरस के लिए कुछ न्यूट्रिशन का नाम है किस
बताता हूँ मैं वायरस के लिए आपको पहले व्हाट इज लाइव एंड नॉट लाइव देयर आई हैड एक्सप्लेन्ड, दो आई हैव नॉट रिटन, बट आपने पूछ ही लिया, मैं फिर से लिख भी देता हूँ, बिकॉज आई एम ऑब्जर्विंग व्हाट इज जस्ट आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग, दैट इज नॉट एनफ। आप बार बार वही क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं जो हम नहीं लिखे रहते हैं, हम जस्ट एक्सप्लेन कर दिए रहते हैं। सो लेट मी राइट फॉर द वायरस। देखिए बताता हूँ आपको, अभी तो वायरस बहुत चल रहा है, इसी वायरस के कारण वी आर अवे, तो वायरस में तो अभी ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट रहेगा ही आपको। लेट मी एक्सप्लेन अ बिट। हाँ बोलिए, और भी किसको डाउट है? हाँ चल बोलिए।
Sir, can you scroll up?
अच्छा विवेक है, आज आपका माइक ठीक हुआ विवेक का?
Yes, sir.
दिस वन और इससे भी ऊपर?
Yes, sir. नहीं सर यही है।
Write it quickly. All the students please write. Today we will go for the digestive system in human. I mean basically the multicellular nutrition. ये फिनिश करके आपको हम छोड़ेंगे। I will try to finish.
Second pointer.
Second point in which one? Which kind of nutrition? I mean the saprophytic, parasitic, symbiotic किसमें?
Insectivorous.
हाँ saprophytic.
Then insectivorous.
इंसेक्टिवायरस में सेकेंड पॉइंट पहले हमने लिखा है, टेक इंसेक्ट्स टू गेट देयर फूड और कंपोनेंट ऑफ फूड। कंपोनेंट ऑफ फूड लाइक योर न्यूट्रिएंट, दे आर व्हाट आर यू माइट बी नोइंग दैट प्लांट नीड मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट एनपीके, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So if the soil is deficit in these macronutrient, then this nutrient need to be supplemented externally. So if you are supplementing with the help of fertilizer and mineral, that is okay. But if you are not able to supplement and some plant is growing, then that plant have to arrange some kind of nitrogen or this. So which plant is able to grow in such a land? It is the pitcher plant, because their leaf get modified to form the pitcher, and once the insect trapped in this pitcher, the insect get digested and nitrogen is absorbed by the plant. ठीक? So हमने ये नाइट्रोजन लिखा था, नाइट्रोजन का ही आपको जस्ट जानना है। ऐसे फॉस्फोरस भी उसी से मिल जाता है, बिकॉज जो भी ऑर्गेनिज्म है दे आर नॉट कंटेनिंग ओनली नाइट्रोजन, but even the phosphorus is also present in the body of the insect. So both nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are absorbed from the insect. So a part of that insectivorous plant is able to do the photosynthesis also, but ये photosynthesis खुद में sufficient नहीं है कि पूरा का पूरा ये सर्वाइव कर सके, तो इसके लिए पीचर बनाते हैं और उसके थ्रू वो कुछ न्यूट्रिएंट लेते हैं। Even last I had also explained.
Sir. Sir.
हाँ बोलिए विनय।
NPK मतलब क्या?
NPK, अरे कितनी बार बोला, ये क्लास 9 पढ़ के आए ना हम लोग, कितनी बार हमने आपको बताया। N का मतलब नाइट्रोजन, प्लांट को ग्रो होने के लिए नाइट्रोजन चाहिए, P का मतलब फॉस्फोरस एंड K का मतलब पोटासियम। ये हमारा एलिमेंट है। तो नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस एंड पोटेशियम, these are the elements which are required in larger amount, so they are called as the macronutrient. In addition to this, other minerals or nutrients are also required. They are iron, copper, zinc, many more are there. तो कंपोनेंट ऑफ फूड में हमने आपको बताया, इवन हम ह्यूमन को भी बहुत सारे मिनरल्स चाहिए होते हैं। ऐसे प्लांट को सर्वाइव करने के लिए ये सब मिनरल और ग्रो होने के लिए ये मिनरल चाहिए। So it is this way. Now let us come to this virus. The virus are what? Virus को यदि आप समझेंगे तो ये लिविंग है, नॉन लिविंग है। इनिशियल डेज देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ कंट्राडिक्शन, स्टिल टुडे कुछ कुछ कंट्राडिक्शन लोग अराइज करते हैं, बिकॉज देयर आर डिफरेंट स्कूल ऑफ थॉट, दे आर थिंकिंग डिफरेंटली। बट द बेस्ट एक्सेप्टेबल क्या है मैं आपको वो बताता हूं। ये जो वायरस है, दे कंटेन, they are certain protein molecules only. So they are certain protein molecules पैक्ड इन ट्यूब फॉर्म। यानी वायरस का यदि आप स्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे ना, तो जैसे इंसेक्ट में पूरा तरह उसका एक बॉडी होता है, एक माउथ या कुछ ऐसा ऑर्गन होता है, दूसरा डाइजेशन एंड ऑल दिस थिंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म। ये वायरस उस तरीके का नहीं होता, ये सिंपल समझिए बहुत सारा ट्यूब्स ऐसे ऐसे कनेक्टेड रहते हैं आपस में। हो सकते हैं कुछ ट्यूब बंद भी हो और कुछ ट्यूब खुले भी हों और सारे के सारे ट्यूब भी खुले हों। हो सकते हैं यहां से फर्दर ये ऐसे दो चार ब्रांचिंग रह रहे हों, ऐसा कुछ वायरस रहता है। गेटिंग नो स्टूडेंट? ये क्या रहते हैं, इसके ट्यूब के अंदर ये प्रोटीन भरे हुए होते हैं। इतना डिटेल आपको चाहिए नहीं, बट वायरस का जमाना है तो थोड़ा जान ही लीजिए। इसके अंदर ये प्रोटीन्स भरे हुए हैं। प्रोटीन्स आर एंजाइम्स, ये हमने पहले आपको बता रखा है थोड़ा। सो दीज आर दे प्रोटीन्स। एंड प्रोटीन क्या करता है, हमने इसी चैप्टर में बताया है, दे आर नथिंग बट दे आर द एंजाइम और hormone. When they are called as enzyme and when hormone, we will learn even today or tomorrow. ये प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल जब स्पेसिफिक किसी काम के लिए किसी केमिकल रिएक्शन को कैरी आउट करवाना चाहता है तो ये एंजाइम कहलाता है। मीन्स टू कॉज अ केमिकल रिएक्शन। लेकिन यही यदि प्रोटीन ऐसा फंक्शन करता है कि कोई बायोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल को एक्टिव करे, लाइक यंग होना, ग्रोथ होना, ग्रोथ का रुक जाना, मुस्टैचेस डेवलप होना, हेयर डेवलप होना, ऑल दिस थिंग मीन्स दे आर कंट्रोलिंग आवर एक्टिविटी। लाइक अपने को हंगर फील होना, तो ऑल दिस थिंग आर व्हाट, दे आर कंट्रोलिंग बायोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटीज। यदि ये बायोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटीज कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, ऐसे प्रोटीन्स हार्मोन्स कहलाते हैं। ये ऑलवेज ही हार्मोन्स हमारे लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म में होते हैं। दो हार्मोन्स आर द केमिकल दैट कैन बी स्टोर्ड इवन फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड। बहुत सारे हार्मोन के टेबलेट मिलते हैं, जैसे इंसुलिन। तो इंसुलिन क्या है, ये हमारा एक एंजाइम है जिससे कि शुगर लेवल कंट्रोल किए जाते हैं। हार्मोन्स क्या है, जैसे बॉडी में आफ्टर सर्टेन एज द टीथ हैव टू कम आउट, द पर्सन हैव टू बिकम यंग एंड व्हाटएवर द सिम्टम्स ऑफ younger one or adult one that have to be developed, like development of mustaches, broadening of shoulders and other parts of the body. Okay student, so these developments are controlled by hormones. Okay student, so it is biological related things or biological activity related things. Okay, so see students, if we come to this virus contains such a protein, means they have the tendency to give the enzyme, but these virus do not have well defined body to do all the activity. Means if this is isolated, isolated means alone it is present anywhere. कहीं भी समझिए ये अलोन पड़ा हुआ है, से ये टेबल पे अलोन पड़ा हुआ है कुछ घंटे से, तो इसके अंदर का जो प्रोटीन्स है ये इस ट्यूब में नहीं मूव कर पाता है। गेट इट? सो व्हेन देयर इज नो मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट इनसाइड द बॉडी, विल इट बी लाइव? इट विल नॉट बी लाइव। लेकिन यदि आप कोई भी बैक्टीरिया या कोई सा भी, यदि आप इंसेक्ट लेते हैं और फिश लेते हैं या कोई सा भी आप ऑर्गेनिज्म लेते हैं, तो इन ऑर्गेनिजम्स के अंदर इस पूरे बॉडी में ब्लड इधर से इधर घूमते रहते हैं, हार्मोन इधर से इधर घूमते रहते हैं, इस सब में भी ब्लड जाता रहता है एंड समथिंग। सो मींस मूवमेंट ऑफ ब्लड और प्रोटीन और ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर देयर। तो यहां ऑलवेज मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट होता है, मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट इनसाइड बॉडी ऑफ लिविंग बीइंग। कोई भी लिविंग बीइंग है तो ये आपको हमने बताए थे स्टार्टिंग में ही, व्हाई इट इज अलाइव, बिकॉज द मॉलिक्यूल आर एबल टू मूव इनसाइड देयर बॉडी। लाइक हमारे अंदर वी आर नॉट मूविंग बट स्टिल अ लॉट ऑफ मूवमेंट ऑकरिंग इन आवर बॉडी। व्हाट इज दैट? Blood is circulating. Not only blood, our glands are releasing these hormones and enzymes to control other biological activities. तो ऐसा मूवमेंट हर हमेशा होता रहता है। लेकिन जब आप ये एक वायरस ले लेंगे तो ये देखिए ऐसे कुछ खाली खाली ट्यूब है जिसके अंदर कुछ मटेरियल भरे हुए हैं। Like you may consider a tube filled with some solid particle or say some liquid, but both the end are closed. If the both end are closed, या both end को यदि आपने सेम लेवल में रख दिया है, इसके अंदर यदि आपने ट्यूब में ले लिया है, will it move? It will not move. Okay, so no molecular movement, no molecular movement। जब मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट नहीं है तो आइसोलेटेड कंडीशन में क्या होगा? ये लाइव रहेगा या डेड रहेगा? सो इट इज एक्टिंग एज डेड ऑर्गेनिज्म। तो यदि खाली कहीं भी पड़ा हुआ है तो ये डेड रहता है, बट इफ इट कम इन कॉन्टेक्ट, if this virus come on the surface of a living organism, यानी कि अभी आप हम ये समझिए कि ये आपका या मेरा हैंड है, यहां पे एक वायरस आ गया, तो वायरस इज नाउ अटैच्ड हियर। स्टूडेंट, इन दिस केस दिस इज द एंड दिस इज योर वायरस। Now student, in this case what will happen? देखिए इसके अंदर बहुत सारा मटेरियल भरा हुआ है, वो लिक्विड फॉर्म में है। इस हैंड में हमारे अंदर क्या है? ब्लड अभी सर्कुलेट कर रहे हैं। तो ब्लड का जो सेल है, हर सेल में ब्लड है, तो इट इज पॉसिबल दैट व्हाइल इट कम इन कांटेक्ट विद द सेल, जैसे सेल बहुत ही छोटा होता है विच इज नॉट विजिबल विद आवर नेकेड आइज, इन द सिमिलर फैशन दिस वायरस इज आल्सो ऑफ द वेरी स्मॉल साइज and able to come in contact with the cell or able to penetrate inside the or nearly come on the plasma membrane of that cell. Okay student, so what will happen? मैं जरा इसको बिगर बड़ा सा थोड़ा नेक्स्ट पेज में बना देता हूं। Because no space here, I was in the opinion that no need to write, या ये सब आपको बोल के जस्ट ऐसे बता दिया था, but still the doubt persists, so let me explain carefully. So while this is the hand, what is this figure? This figure is virus over hand. In this case, let me draw the bigger one. ऐसा हैंड बनाता हूं, अभी आपको अच्छा लगेगा। These are the virus. वायरस का एक ट्यूब देखिए हमारे सेल के कांटेक्ट में आ गया। जब हमारे सेल के कांटेक्ट में आएगा तो हमारे सेल का ब्लड इसके अंदर जाना शुरू हो जाता है। ओके, और ये ब्लड प्रेशर के कारण ये इस ट्यूब के अंदर जाना शुरू हो जाएगा, तो क्या होगा? वायरस के अंदर में मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। सो मॉलिक्यूलर मूवमेंट इनसाइड वायरस स्टार्ट्स। तो वायरस के अंदर अभी ये हमारा जो ब्लड है, ये ब्लड हमारे सेल्स पे है, और सेल्स के अंदर का जो लिक्विड है या ब्लड है, ये ब्लड अभी इस ट्यूब के अंदर भी जाना शुरू हो जाता है। जब ये इस ट्यूब के अंदर जाना शुरू होगा तो क्या होगा, वायरस का जो प्रोटीन है ये वापस हमारे बॉडी में कुछ प्रोटीन इंजेक्ट भी हो जाएगा, राइट। सम ऑफ वायरस प्रोटीन्स also injected in host body. Okay, this is the host or hand. So this way what will happen, a cycle starts. यहाँ पे ऐसा होता है कि एक साइकिल स्टार्ट हो जाता है कि यहाँ से ब्लड अभी इधर की ओर जाएगा, इसके अंदर फिर वापस आएगा। तो वायरस के अंदर जो गंदगी थी ये हमारे बॉडी के अंदर चला, तो वायरस का जो इन्फेक्शन है और बैड काइंड ऑफ प्रोटीन विच इज नॉट डिजायरेबल फॉर अस, दैट गेट इंजेक्टेड इन आवर बॉडी एंड वी फॉल इल. So this way, when the virus come in contact with the living organism, it become alive. So therefore, molecular movement in virus starts when it come in contact with living organism. When it come in contact with living organism. Therefore, virus become alive. तो अभी देखिए वायरस क्या हो गया, जिंदा हो गया. So what is virus? So वायरस जिंदा है या मरा हुआ है? वायरस नॉन लिविंग, इफ आइसोलेटेड. तो हम अभी कोरोना में क्या कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वायरस किसी के बॉडी पे नहीं रहे कि वो जिंदा रहे, वो यदि जस्ट नॉन लिविंग बीइंग पे यानी कि इन्वायरमेंट में ज्यादा करके एक समय में सारे के सारे वायरस खत्म हो जाएंगे, बट ऐसा हो नहीं पा रहा है. हम आपको एक थर्ड पॉइंट और बताएंगे जहां आपको ये डाउट हो कि यदि से इफ इट इज जस्ट कमिंग इन कांटेक्ट और इफ इट इज जस्ट कमिंग आउटसाइड दिस सरफेस तो ये डेड होता है या क्या होता है. दैट इज द थर्ड थिंग. सो इट इज अ लिविंग if on any host का मीनिंग है अदर लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म. सो अभी स्टूडेंट अभी एक चीज और थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं. एक कोई लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है, इस लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म के पास एक वायरस है. ओके, वायरस इज ऑन द लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म. से वायरस इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ दिस लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म थ्रू हिज नोज और माउथ. से कोरोना ही किसी को है. सो कोरोना, so this is COVID-19 virus come out of nose or mouth of a person. जब ये रेस्पिरेट करेगा तो इसके अंदर जो भी वायरस है वो थोड़ा से स्नीचिंग किया और इवन ब्रीदिंग किया, मींस एक्सहेलेशन, दिस वायरस विल कम आउट. व्हेन इट विल कम आउट it will be live in atmosphere for few hours. क्यों? क्योंकि देखिए जब ये लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म के ऊपर है तो इसके अंदर एक सर्कुलेशन चल रहा है. अब ये सर्कुलेशन जहां से स्टार्ट हुआ होगा, this is the tube of this virus, just it have come out still it has some tendency of circulation. इसके अंदर अभी कुछ देर तक ये सर्कुलेशन रहेगा, even it get isolated. So right, have circulation or molecular movement, it means basically molecular movement for few hours or so ये जब ह्यूमन बॉडी से बाहर आ गया तो भी इसका इसमें मूवमेंट कुछ समय तक के लिए मेंटेन रहेगा. सो ये थोड़े देर के लिए देयरफॉर इट सर्वाइव फॉर फ्यू आवर्स इन आइसोलेशन देन बिकम डेड. हमने अभी यहां ये बतलाया आपको कि किसी भी पर्सन से वायरस अभी जस्ट बाहर निकला तो वो जस्ट उसके नोज से बाहर आते ही डेड होता है कि कुछ समय बाद डेड होता है. अभी देखिए, while it was inside that particular person it was alive, some molecular movement was existing. अभी जब वो बाहर आएगा so molecular movement not going to stop abruptly or randomly. क्यों? क्योंकि कुछ जो ब्लड इसके अंदर ह्यूमन ने डाल दिए हैं वो ब्लड सब जब तक इसके अंदर से खत्म नहीं हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि ब्लड सेल से ये हमारा एनर्जी लेता रहेगा, तब तक ये वायरस सरवाइव करेगा. बट वंस whatever the blood which was taken by this virus while it was in contact, if all the blood are consumed or the energy is consumed, तो फिर ये वायरस को और कोई एनर्जी सोर्स नहीं रहेगा. It cannot survive, then it become dead. So this is what the life cycle of virus. Life cycle of virus. अब ये वायरस बनते कैसे हैं? तो वायरस बहुत सारे जगह पे हैं. वायरस कुछ नहीं है, स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ प्रोटीन्स जो किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म में पाए जाते हैं वही वायरस होते हैं. Even this chicken or your hen, all this contain a lot of virus. Even some of the viruses are surviving over our body also. And it was stated that this COVID virus, ये किसमें है? It is in the bat. From the COVID king, China. चाइना के जो बैट हैं उसमें ये कोविड बहुत पाए जाते हैं. So China is also called as the COVID king or corona king. So this is how this virus is surviving. Anything more? और किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पूछिए, otherwise I will go for the next topic.
Sir, scroll up.
This one?
हाँ.
Write it quickly. नीरज, अभी आपको समझ में आया ये लिविंग है, नॉन लिविंग है, क्या लिखना है? So question will always be there. क्वेश्चन में एमसीक्यूज ऐसे बनाए जाते हैं, वायरस इज लिविंग, नॉन लिविंग, मे बी नॉन लिविंग. सो इट इज नॉन लिविंग इन आइसोलेटेड फॉर्म, लिविंग while on the host. So if it is on the host it is living, if isolated then non living. यदि आपको only may be living or non living, that is the best suitable. Okay, यदि किसी होस्ट के बारे में कोई जानकारी नहीं है तो may be living, non living. So this way you have to answer. Neeraj, any more doubt?
Second scroll down.
Further?
Sir, can you scroll down?
Everyone have written? ये ऊपर की सब कुछ सारी बातें लोगों ने लिख लिए हैं?
Sir, no,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
कहाँ आपको लिखना है? राइट इट क्विकली. और किसी को डाउट है क्या वायरस में एंड कोरोना में? Student, it is also advised that if you put this virus in the protein or allyl substance, these strains get fragmented. यदि इस वायरस को यदि आप एल के अंदर डाल दीजिए और किसी दूसरे प्रोटीन में डाल दीजिए तो ये सब इसके स्ट्रेन्स टूट करके खत्म हो जाते हैं. तो वायरस ऐसे ही डेड हो जाता है. Any more doubt? Write it quickly. I will go for the multicellular nutrition in human.
Done, sir.
Okay. So let us go for, so nutrition in animal. And here we have to learn for the human species. Okay. So human is a multicellular organism, or these animals are multicellular complex organism we are considering. So such multicellular complex organism, they have a well-defined digestive system for the intake of food, I mean complex food, then digest it, then absorb the energy from it. A well-defined digestive system. There are different names given to this digestive system, sometimes also called as alimentary canal or digestive tract. So have well-defined digestive system starting from intake of complex food to digest it into simpler food. This simpler food is glucose, which is absorbed by body and waste is thrown out. So ऐसा पूरा एकदम well developed structure होता है, whether it is animal like cow, dog, monkey, donkey, human, chimpanzee, anything. Okay. So what is that? That structure we have to see. So this entire structure is also called as your alimentary canal or digestive tract or so what is this digestive tract or alimentary canal? So of human we will learn. So human के बारे में हमें पढ़ने. So this starts with this system. हमने यहाँ बताया कि इसके पास सारा का सारा एक इनटेक मैकेनिज्म रहना है कॉम्प्लेक्स फूड लेने को. उस कॉम्प्लेक्स फूड को सिंपल फूड में कन्वर्ट करेंगे. सिंपल फूड क्या है? दे आर द ग्लूकोज. क्यों? क्योंकि ग्लूकोज ही हमारे बॉडी अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे, मीन्स हमारे बॉडी और सेल्स के अंदर डिफ्यूज हो पाएंगे. complex food like rice, chapati, dal, this cannot directly enter into our cells. वो हमारा स्टोमक केवल समझ पाता है, यानी हमारा ये डाइजेस्टिव ट्रैक वो समझ पाता है. ये डाइजेस्टिव ट्रैक कॉम्प्लेक्स जो फूड है, सेलुलोज है, उनको सिंपल फूड में कन्वर्ट करेंगे. ये सिंपल फूड एब्जॉर्ब हो जाएंगे हमारे सेल्स में. So yeah, up to absorption, this is the part of this digestive system. After absorption, this cell have the capacity to do the respiration, to get the energy from the simple food. So that is the part of respiration that we will learn later. So what is this system? Let us start. So this starts from where it starts. Very first is in human, we are calling this as the mouth. So this is for taking the food, not the air. एयर लेने के लिए हमारे रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम को ऑक्सीजन चाहिए, उसके लिए नोज है. ओके, तो माउथ एंड नोज दे आर क्लोजर. I mean, and even they are also connected, but even there are two different pipes. One is for the flow of air called windpipe, another is for the flow of food. So this flow of air, windpipe also called as trachea, and this flow of food through the pipe, that is also called as the esophagus. Okay, so through that the food have to go. So it will start with the mouth. From the mouth it will go to your food pipe or esophagus. ESO, but it starts with O. Student, do not get confused. बहुत सारे लोग ओइसोफेगस भी पढ़ते हैं. It is also the same thing. This is what? This is nothing but it is our food pipe. माउथ को ही हम बोलते हैं, माउथ का एक कैविटी है ताकि ये ओपन हो सके, क्लोज हो सके. दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द बकल कैविटी. ओके, और ब्यूकाल कैविटी. सो इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द बकल कैविटी. CCAL रहता है कैविटी. ओके, ताकि माउथ को ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग को कंट्रोल किया जा सके, इसके लिए इट इज दैट वन. After this, the food will go and store in a bag. That bag is called as the stomach. So this stomach is what? A storage bag or food storage bag. A storage bag or basically foldable sacks. ओके ना. सैक क्या है? ऐसा बैग जो लूज है, वो अपना शेप चेंज कर सकता है, उसे हम सैक बोलते हैं. So it is this one. After this, here it will get stored and it will start decaying. Means the digestion start. After digestion, or even partly digested food, that will enter into the intestine. This intestine is of the two types. One is called as the small intestine, which is thinner and very long. So it is our thin and long, specific for most of digestion. Most of digestion occur here. Then after this, so after digestion, what will happen? This glucose or simple food this will diffuse to blood. यहाँ पे इसका पर्पस ये रहता है. And then there is large intestine. So the purpose of large intestine is to store the waste. In addition to that, absorption of the water. So this is for absorbing water and store waste. ये इसका पर्पस है. This contain large amount of the villi.
Sir, your mic is muted.
Okay, good. Thank you. I was saying there was some network problem. This BSNL is giving a very good quality on this network, though I consider this as most reliable because I am broadcasting through this OFC, but still some issues are there. Okay, student, I was discussing about the different part of this digestive tract. How much you have written? You have written up to the last one, large
Seven, sir.
intestine or a small intestine, whatever the explanation I had given. Did you written? So in a small intestine, there are a small finger-like projection called villi that help in diffusion and absorption of this digested food or the simple food. So this small intestine is thin but very long, but large intestine, the purpose is to absorb the water and store the waste that is generated after absorption. So it is small and thick. Did you people retain this much? आप सबने इतना लिख लिया?
So wait, sir.
Sir,
Yes, विवेक बोलिए.
sir, are villi present in large intestine also?
क्या? हाँ, villi is also present in large intestine. Villi means it is the finger-like projection that help in diffusing of one material from the one side to the other. If I consider whether large intestine or a small intestine, only the thickness is different. This I am considering the large intestine. This is the small intestine. See, there are the folded finger-like projection. It is this one. So it is this one. It is not smooth, but it appears, means this intestine appear rough. It is like this one. So these are the villis. This we will discuss in more detail. Through this, the food is flowing. After digestion, it will get converted into glucose, and over this intestine, blood cells are there. So what will happen? This glucose which is present here, this through this villi, because villi is just 2 to 5 cell thicker membrane. So you can just understand how thin this is, so that the permeability or movement of the material from one side to other side is increased. But do not think that our raw material like the rice and chapati can flow. No, because it is the cell membrane, and cell membrane have very fine pores. It is semi-permeable, which allow the size up to water and blood, these things only. Okay, it is like that one. So that's why it is here. So here the food, but in this case, if I consider the large intestine, the projections are also there, but in this is the glucose plus large amount of water is there. So how this water will remove from this? So again, this water is transferred in large amount from this large intestine to this blood cell. This is also our blood cell. तो ये ब्लड का जो सेल है इसके अंदर, अदरवाइज ब्लड में फिर पानी कहां से आएगा, फिर हमारे किडनी में वो पानी कहां से निकलेगा? तो ये देखिए, यही लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में वाटर का डिफ्यूजन होता है, और ये सारे के सारे जाते कहां है? फाइनली इट विल गो टू किडनी. किडनी में ब्लड फिर सेपरेट हो जाएगा, फिर ये हमारे हार्ट को जाएगा, एंड इधर से वाटर ड्रेन होकर के हम इसे एक्सक्रीट कर देते हैं एज एन यूरिन. ओके, सो हाउ दिस वाटर एंड ग्लूकोज इज कमिंग? So glucose, basically absorption takes place through the villi in a small intestine, and this water absorption takes through the villi in large intestine. villi का मतलब ये एक चीज को दूसरे तरफ मूव कराएगा. हाँ विवेक, एनी मोर डाउट? पूछिए. कहीं आपने ये पढ़ लिया कि लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में villi नहीं होते हैं? लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में villi के नंबर कम होते हैं, बट देयर आर villi, तभी ये मटेरियल का मूवमेंट होता है. villi कुछ नहीं है, ये एक सेमी परमिएबल वेरी थिन मेम्ब्रेन है, जिसके थ्रू की एक मटेरियल एक साइड से दूसरे साइड जाता है. यहाँ देखिए, वाटर बहुत ही लार्ज अमाउंट में है, डाइजेस्टेड फूड भी है, बहुत ही कम है, यहाँ ग्लूकोज है प्लस वाटर इज ऑल्सो देयर, तो वाटर यहां से भी इधर जा रहा है, बट maximum amount of absorption of water it takes from this large intestine. After this there is our rectum, so this will means whatever the food is there means the after absorption this will get stored in the rectum. It is this. So this is the final waste disposal, waste disposal bag. Okay, so this is how. Any more doubt, Vivek? Otherwise we will discuss this in a bit more detail in next
No,
class.
sir, no doubt.
तो पूछिए. So how is this structure? इसका ये कैसा स्ट्रक्चर है? I think in book it is given. तो मैं जस्ट बुक से एक लेता हूं, आपको थोड़ा एक्सप्लेनेशन देता हूं ताकि कल हम डायरेक्ट लिखना शुरू करेंगे. It is here, no? Very nice figure. Yes, students, what I was writing is depicted in picture form. So see, the very first part where the where the food enters, it is the mouth. Okay, so food will enter here. This teeth, tongue, and this cavity and other, these are the auxiliary thing. These are the auxiliary that helps in converting this complex food into such a form, means the physical shape change only, so that it will not damage our esophagus. Otherwise, if you take the bigger chunk of chapati, it may not able to move through our esophagus. The esophagus may get choked. So to avoid that, these are the auxiliary things. Teeth, tongue are present in our mouth. So that converts the food into the form which help in movement through the esophagus. So this teeth and tongue is not digesting the food. It just chemically the food remain unchanged. Only the shape change of food. The auxiliary thing, so shape and size change for food. ये इतना ही करता है. फूड को स्मॉलर बाइट्स में कन्वर्ट करता है. तो ये यदि टीथ स्मॉलर बाइट्स में कन्वर्ट करता है तो फिर टंग क्यों चाहिए, एंड टंग से निकलने वाला स्लाइवा क्यों चाहिए? देखिए ये आगे जब आप ईसोफेगस दिखेंगे, इट इज वेरी डेलिकेट, इट इज सॉफ्ट एंड डेलिकेट. ये बहुत ही सोफिस्टिकेटेड ऑर्गन है जो हमारे बॉडी के अंदर है, बिकॉज इसको यदि ऐसा कोई नोकीला चीज मिला तो ये खराब हो जाएगा. In addition, we will also learn that this contain a mucus layer. Means inside this there is a slippery layer called mucus layer. So if you take the rough cheese which is not wet, it will rub our inner surface of the esophagus and esophagus may get damaged. To avoid that, we are using the tongue to alter the food or to move the food so that it can be broken into a smaller pieces by teeth, and it is softened by putting the saliva through the salivary gland which is present in our mouth. So here there is salivary gland. This gives saliva. Okay, saliva. So this saliva basically it liquid that come out of this salivary gland which is present in our mouth. That's why while you are eating any food, water is generated in your mouth. Why? Because of this gland. This gland is leaching some amount of the water. That is not basically the water. It is alkaline, means slightly basic enzyme called saliva. It is basically saliva amylase. ये हम आपको डिटेल में बताएंगे कौन से ऑर्गन से क्या निकलता है और कौन सा ऑर्गन कहाँ है, इसका मैं टेबल बना करके आपको देंगे. So ये, so when the food is softened, it will flow through our esophagus. So this food will enter here. It will stored in this. So this is our stomach. Now digestion. Digestion is what? Digestion is a chemical process. So the chemical reaction have to occur in this stomach. For the chemical reaction, it needs some other chemicals to initiate this chemical reaction or to expedite or to fasten this chemical reaction. For this, we have the other auxiliary organ like liver, pancreas, which are pouring the juices or enzymes which carry out the reaction with this complex food to convert it into simple food. So that is called the what? Digestion. So digestion occurs in a stomach. In addition, the inner layer of this stomach have gastric gland. One kind of gland is present. So that gastric gland, this we will learn in more detail. It gives three kind of chemical. One is pepsin, another is HCl, another is the trypsin. So these three help in digestion. Even HCl is required to make the pepsin active. So those things we will learn at the time we will discuss this digestion process. After this digestion, it will go to a small intestine. So a small intestine also have the gland. Okay. So that is called intestinal gland. That also gives the enzyme, means the chemical protein for carrying out the complete digestion, mostly the protein. So it is this that will digest here, and finally after digestion, absorption also takes place in this small intestine. A small intestine is very long. In the initial 20 to 30% length, there is digestion, and in the remaining length, there is absorption. And final absorption of water and of minerals or the useful content takes place in large intestine. And finally the waste is stored here in this rectum, which is disposed. Connection of this small intestine, large intestine have a lobe called appendix. So appendix, though it have no role in our life, iska koi role nahi, it is just perhaps to make the body stable and just to balance it from left and right hand side, God have made it. So appendix ko nikal bhi diya jata hai to koi dikkat nahi, it is not useful. But the other organ like liver, bile duct, pancreas, all these things are very much helpful to us. Liver gives the bile juice that gets stored in the pancreas, basically the pancreatic juice. And finally it is put in the stomach through the bile duct. Then that bile is helpful in converting the bigger fat molecule into a smaller in this stomach. This thing we will learn later. Now coming to the top one, this is a mechanical thing called diaphragm, because here means in this area there is lungs. This is the area for lungs. So for lungs, connected to this nose, there is another pipe, and this pipe again get converted into this lungs area. So to avoid the overpressing or shrinking of these lungs when we take more food, because while we take the more food, this stomach will increase their size, it may shrink the, or it may compress the lungs. To avoid that situation, this mechanical diaphragm is given. Even we are breathing, means we are taking the air through our nose, it is going to lungs. So to control the particular expansion, means expansion not beyond certain limit, this diaphragm is controlled. So diaphragm movement is there, it may move up and down. So this is how the our alimentary canal, and this lungs is the part of our respiratory system that we will learn later. Any doubt to any student? Then please tell me. Otherwise, next day I will start with the process, how this digestion process takes place. What is digestive tract? That I have explained. What are the components of digestive tract? That I have explained. Next day we will see the process, means how this digestion process occur in this digestive tract. What are the various glands? What are the various juices or enzymes that come out of this gland, and how it help in digestion. This thing we will learn next. Any more doubt to any student? Then please tell me. No doubt? Then shall we stop the class here? ओके स्टूडेंट, आप लोग मैथ्स के साथ होमवर्क कर नहीं रहे हैं? मैथ्स के आप लोग जिनको होमवर्क हो गए, प्लीज पोस्ट इन दी व्हाट्सएप, आई विल वॉच इट, आई विल डू द नेसेसरी करेक्शन, ताकि मेरे को समझ में आए कि आप कितना सीखे हैं. दैट इज वन थिंग. नेक्स्ट मैथ्स